Hello people of the internet, it's your boy Skinny Penis from the pre-production office. We're doing Raider Minnow now. Someone requested Raider Minnow. And even though I don't really like it, and it's a pain to play currently when there's super ship, especially when there's super ship missions for coal, steel, whatever. I mean, it's nothing really. I don't know why people play it just because of, I don't know, 50 cents in, I don't know, coal or something. But it definitely increases the amount of super ship matchmaking, and you don't want to see that really. In any case, I already did Haaland, and it's definitely not worse for me in terms of how much I like to play than Haaland. Like, I just really despise that ship. So we're trying the radar minnow. Stealth radar, 1 kilometer, that's your strength. You can either go fast forward behind a rock and bring a very long duration radar and hydro into the game while being able to lob it. Or you just go to a flank, turn into kite early enough, and when you're spotted, the DD is most likely turbo deep in your radar, nose in, and you can punish him in the turn. You can just also straight go through a cap and try to catch a DD in the turn. That's essentially what the early game looks like in Minotaur. Problem here being, it kinda only works, as I said in the carrier game. Carriers shit on concealment and completely make concealment unviable across the board if they play it correctly early game, because they spot out every single movement on most chips. So based on that, if you have a carrier and you're in a Minotaur, you might not get the surprise potential in the beginning like you would without a CV. You can still make it work though. We're in Sea of Fortunes, decent map. As I said, like, there's super ship missions currently, so we do have some super ship. It's not as bad. Also the Clausewitz doesn't overmatch us, so it's not as bad as Annapolis with improved pen angle, or the Conda that can straight up overmatch us and burst us too. So you're like never allowed to do a mistake. Since my Haaland is super late on the spawn, and I also didn't really spawn furthest in the flank, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go behind this rock. This rock is super easy to lob, and I can also get the radar deep on the cap. I most likely will be unspotted here unless the carrier decides to go for me. I can farm a bit. Hopefully the Goliath is about to turn out. Wrong direction though, because I went behind the island, so if he turns towards my right side, can't really punish him anymore. You have improved pen angles on Minnow. You have improved fuse or fast fusing shells, so that's why the AP is actually pretty potent against DDs or even angled targets. Then again, if I would want to play a radar cruiser, my go-to would be Des Moines or Moskva or Nevsky, just because they bring HE, which makes you instantaneously overall more viable in randoms, and it also brings I don't know why I'm spotted here, to be honest. This guy's behind a rock. Ah, the Goliath turned out. Barely in his spotting range. And I don't really care about tanking Goliath HE, to be honest. That's a given when you have a super heal. You don't really care that much about HE. Especially the fires are completely worthless on a Minotaur, unless you can burst it down with like a triple fire and doing a lot of damage at the same time. I can punish him broadside here. As said, I will stay next to the cap and keep my radar here in case someone tries to touch the cap. I will have to look out for these people in the middle, not being greedy to shoot me. It would be a disaster, because then I'm in a crossfire. But for now, the ones on the flank seem to ignore me, especially the Preußen. And on these long ranges with plunging fire and things, and improved pen and fuse and stuff, look, you can do a whole lot of damage to battleships, especially unsaturated. The superstructure eats a whole lot of dick. Sadly though, both of them are leaving my range. Haaland hits some torps that do 0 damage. So if I had an HE cruiser here, like a Nevsky or something, I could fuck with the Preußen way harder, because I could set permas now, obviously. Radar Minnow in the right hands definitely has a whole lot of carry potential, just because you bring so much utility with you. And you can definitely fuck with DDs yourself. So that's why also Unicoms or Super Unicoms like to play it. The problem is just if you're pretty inexperienced, you shouldn't play it just because it's funny or a meme ship. Like, haha, the funny Radar Minnow instead of Smoke. It also doesn't really make you a bad player if you play it with Smoke. In my opinion, Smoke Minnow is easier to play and also a wee bit more viable for my taste. I don't know why the carrier is coming into Minnow and Annapolis AA now. That's a bit weird, not gonna lie. Hope my carrier spots out the middle of the map. We can go into the spec afterwards. I'm not running RPF. I don't really like it, as said, at all in this game. But Radar Mino would be the only cruiser, in my opinion, where it's super, super viable. Like, not having RPF here definitely can hurt you, or you may not be able to carry as hard. If you play completely objective and game-winning orientated, you should go most likely RPF, just because you have the Stealth Raider, which makes you a very viable DD hunter. The problem there, though, is with the Radar Minnow that if a DD knows what he's doing, the Radar Minnow doesn't get the value it's supposed to. Because the moment you angle in a DD against this ship, you obviously mitigate most of the damage. There are a few destroyers where you still do a whole lot of damage even if they're angled. Trying to catch the Haaland here. Actually, I'm gonna pre-hydro in case the guy just sent torpedoes here. We're going to only get like few salvos here. Oh, that salvo was unfortunate. Wasn't that much damage. Second salvo 8k. Third salvo also a lot of damage. So yeah, we got some damage here definitely. That was worth it for sure. I'm playing around the islands. That's most likely where you are best with Radar Minnow. Using the islands as cover, just because you do not have armor. Using the islands to go dark. Using the islands to kite out people, like this for example. If he goes to the left and I'm going to the right behind the island, I can kite him out. Greatly limiting the potential of him either spotting me in the first place or dealing damage. I can't really touch the cap, obviously. That's the problem in the carrier game. Like, theoretically I could go and grief the DD completely, like actually kill him and then maybe touch the cap myself, because I have top dog concealment then. I may try to now go into B and actually get that cap. I don't know why the carrier is coming again into my AA and a whole lot of other people. But yeah, so be it. I mean, lose all your planes for free. That's up to you. Other side is a bit harder to play just because they have the Alaska. Alaska overmatches me and has improved penetration angles, which is a disastrous combination for Radar Minnow. Anything that overmatches you and has improved pen angles is super hard to angle against. I mean, you can't angle against it, in fact. That's the problem. I can't really go into B now. It's a wee bit too risky. Don't forget that you have usable torps too. Doing some damage to the Iowa here. I can again use the island to stay dark. Unless the carrier spots me here, I should stay dark. For free. Doing a bit of damage to the Iowa. Maybe he turns out because I hit him. And we're getting a Cyclone now, which means that my Radar Minnow spec is actually becoming a wee bit more viable in certain scenarios. In the scenarios where I can use my radar to create, or like to spot the enemy with my radar for a prolonged amount of time while I'm further away than 8 kilometers, which obviously means that I get lights on the enemy while they don't. Actually, fuck, the Alaska has an angle here, and I'm flat broadside, but he's reversing in a way that he only has back turrets, so even if that's a triple sit. Can't shoot the Groningen now. Could radar him though, but nothing can really shoot him. Even if he's angled, I said my plunging fire and hits into the superstructure will still fuse. I'm trying to reverse into the cap here to maybe get it, because we're like not looking too good on points. We kind of need some points to not get zeroed out at some point maybe. I can also keep shooting the poison while reversing. I have a whole lot of HP left, so even if someone shoots me, the likelihood of me detonating out here is very low. Also, I can pre-heal in case someone starts shooting me and I ate a bunch of damage beforehand. Okay, I want to dodge the twerps after all. I only want to eat one. I was shooting HE, which is super good for us. I mean, I would really like the Cyclone to hit at this point, just so I can get the cap in the middle of the map. Hiya. Oh, we're looking at a Haaland here coming in. Wait. We're using turret traverse. We're using the radar now. We're going to pre-heal in case people keep focusing me out. Or there's some random guy shooting AP at a very, very good angle for, against us and gets the Citadel. Well, the Preußen may be aiming for us. No, he's not. We gotta get the Preußen out here, I think. Okay, well, the spotting range finally decreased. Carrier is still going for me. I love these people just going for carrier for me over and over again in their shit CVs. We have racked up a whole lot of damage, and at least we kept the enemy from gaining C or B with our radar in position. Like, they could have never touched it. Problem though being that too many people of our team died, so we're definitely in a territory where we run the risk of getting zeroed. So I can play the middle pretty well against a... Oh shit, dude. I mean, I used my Raider for the Haaland at a very sad time, to be honest. Like, it would have been better to have Raider ready now to fuck with the Goliath and also decap him. I mean, I could try to blind fire him. Maybe decap him once or twice. That doesn't... Someone decapped him though. That guy is coming again and again and again and again and again. We have two Raider cruisers stacked in the middle though, so that makes it super unplayable for their DDs. Trying to get angles on the Goliath. He overmatches me, but his AP isn't the best, so even if I reverse ass into him, he's most likely not going to one-shot me. That's very unlikely. And I have to get kills, I also have to decap him essentially. Hopefully he keeps shooting HE. Please shoot HE. No AP. He shoots AP, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a big problem. I mean, yeah, but his AP isn't the greatest, so I can still kind of mitigate the damage. He's ignoring us now because the Moskva is running into his broadside, which is good. So either he gets citadeled by the Moskva now, or I get his broadside. Going to pop my... Actually, I can disable his turret maybe even, so he can't shoot the Moskva. Let's see how this goes. He's like ignoring me, so I'm going to use this to just, like I said, keep reversing into him. Also in 10 seconds I have torpedoes up again, which makes his maneuver... Look, I can disable the turrets. That's great. I'm also getting a fair amount of damage. Gotta be careful here though that I'm not getting citadel to shit. My Moskva is still alive, but somehow my Moskva completely ignored this guy. Don't want to risk it too hard here against that guy. Also there's a lot of people here, so I want to keep outside of 8 km against them. Gonna dodge the torpedoes real quick, then I'm going to turn in a way... Oh, wait. Faster than them, so I'm going to go in between them. Just because the guy... the torpedo is spreading too far. Getting blind fired here, doesn't really matter though. I can stick here and kite, because I have my radar off cooldown, so now if someone... Actually, I'm fucking stupid and retarded and eating that turbo on purpose. Yikes, man. That was a very unfortunate moment. I can pop my radar to get the Worcester in range. And now shoot him without him being able to see me. Maybe he does commit for a gamer turn here. Hopefully he does commit for a gamer turn here. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to kill him. Wait, the Groningen is in radar too. Do some damage to this guy. Maybe I can even kill this guy. Actually, I'm completely misaiming this. Great situation though, honestly, for me in a Raider Mino. Like, being able to stay outside of 8 kilometers while being able to radar them. Don't have torpedoes yet on that side. Oh shit. There's a whole lot of people going into the middle, so I'm still going to turn circles on this rock, trying to catch them when they do interesting stuff. Okay. He has to angle towards the Schroeder, kind of, so I can torp him and stay here. Maybe I can even go close enough to actually get citadels. My DPM, if being unattended, obviously, and no, they're not angling to me, is disgusting. They're all deciding to go around that side. I'm going to pre-heal in case he has AP loaded. I only got one torpedo hit though, that's pretty sad. Just did a bunch of damage there. But they're all going around this side, so I can go like this here. The Iowa may be turning into me. I just pre-healed for no reason, which is now actually becoming an issue, because I don't have the heal ready. In case... I'm hydroed as bad, so the Groningen could farm me. Alaska and Iowa are going around both flanks, so it's most likely going to end up with me running out the front. I don't have any sort of spotting on these people now. For now I can though reverse. Yeah, I have to make a decision here. It's most likely going to be going into the Iowa and trying to 1-for-1 him with torpedoes, to be honest. He missed completely. Wow, that is great. I can snail him. And I have torps on the other side now. I'm going to use my radar because it's the only way I can spot people. Oh fuck, I missed the snail. I am going to get that guy out. He's going to one-shot me though, but I am going to one-shot him with torpedoes. Well, yeah, I got just... there's too many people around me for me to actually... I missed the snail. I missed the snail. I should have had 2 kills here and 350k, and I could have definitely then gone into the B side, maybe. Or it's super hard for me to stay alive here, but if this guy whiffs his shot, I torped him out, and the Moskva was super low. He was like 6k or something, 7k. I could have killed him. I also tried to turn my turrets towards the Iowa again for no reason. I could have definitely just shot the Moskva here, but in these kind of situations, too much is happening. That like you can't really make the perfect play in this kind of scenario. Like I mean you can, but it's like if you have to have 200 IQ for these kind of situations to get or to think about all the options you have. Also, I panic snailed way too hard, and since he's nose in, I only hit the nose, so they don't do max damage. So 5 torps weren't enough. That's on me. That's on me. Problem here being though that our carrier died. I didn't have spotting on the left. I can't really chance it flat broadside turning out against the Iowa, so I really wanted to stay angled here. As you can see the island, I wanted to stay angled here, nose in, so I maybe survive his front turret shot. Also the island kind of covers my citadel if I'm close to it in this angle, and then torp him out. It kind of worked. I mean, he completely whiffed, but yeah. In any case, you could see... Actually, like, I'm going to talk quickly about the map itself. Like, you could see, I used this island, or this island sometime. First it was this, then this, but this was the main island I used to essentially kite out people around the island. Like, the people came in here, I went around the other side, because the one that's going behind the island is always going to have the opportunity to torp and shoot, while the others have to always run into your DPM and torpedoes, and they have a hard time catching up. The same thing with the Clausewitz when he was over here. I used this island to go behind it and shoot him still. The 3 people that rushed here, I did the same to. But at some point, because the Iowa turned in towards B and actually got a suddenly activated his brains and neurons, he obviously blocked me off from doing this further and further and further. Like, if he runs around the other side with the teammates too, I can definitely go into B for free and kite them forever. Like, unless there's a Clausewitz behind it. In this scenario, I can just go around, ring around the rosy, and they can never catch me. But you could see the strengths here. As I said, the Cyclone game in general is favorable for me because of the 10 km radar. If I were a smoke minnow, I had a harder time. Just because there will be opportunities maybe for you to use your 10 km radar to stay stealthy. The 12 km radars are even better, obviously, because they get 4 km stealth distance between the 8 km cyclone spotting and the 12 km radar. But yeah, very, very lucky cyclone hitting there. Also, the map obviously favors me too, with all the funny little islands. Unfortunately, we have the let's say AFK Clausewitz in their base with an AFK Yoshino. The play would have been here to see that the enemy team is running from A over towards the middle, and my team staying closer to get angles into the middle when they push. Also, my team should have maybe, or my Moskva should have maybe not run it through the mid cap towards the other rock and essentially kill himself. We could have both played the same rock and kept middle firmly under control because of the cyclone. Like, there's not going to be, like, even if they push through C into our base, they can't see us, so they can't crossfire us, so we can go knife fighting in the middle. You could see the strength here of Mino in some sort of close range engagement. You just have an insane amount of torpedoes. I am also torpedo spec'd on this one, which we can go into real fast. Like, I'm going to now leave and go over the spec a bit, because on Minotaur, I already mentioned it, it's the only cruiser where I would see RPF as a really viable solution, viable option, especially for carrying games in radar minnow. I mean, you don't need RPF on the smoke spec minnow, that's completely pointless. I have a torpedo spec, Obviously, I really would advise you to play priority target in Mino, since most people are looking for you, most people try to get shots on you, so knowing when suddenly 3 or 4 people try to get the juicy citadels on you is very key. Theoretically, you could drop Superintendent. I wouldn't do it though. The basic cruiser stuff again. On Minotaur, you don't need ammo switch because you only have AP, and you don't need the turret traverse. It's also pointless. So I actually go last stand because HE disables your rudder and engine a whole lot. That's a skill you only take on cruisers like Colbert, Smolly, Mino maybe, like light cruisers that suffer against HE. And I choose to do the torpedo spec. The reload helps in greatly while kiting people, just because you can shit more torps into them pushing, and you have stealth torp range, at least a bit. The torpedo damage is in my opinion super viable for these close range situations. I don't have to hit as many torps to essentially death strike someone out. Obviously I fucked it against the Iowa. These kind of skills you rarely proc because of your good concealment, kind of, and you don't really want to consistently gun close range. You do that late game or when you're super pressured by the enemy team, like I was just now. As I said, like the only thing you could do is you drop these points and you go for RPF Radar Minnow. It's probably more potent to win games. This is more potent for damage, and you can play more aggressive with this by far, just because I said like the torpedo damage is key. What you could also do is you switch torpedo reload for the consumable enhancement, great value because of radar and hydro. So yeah, there's some options on Minnow just because it has torpedoes, guns and radar and stuff. Like it's one of the only cruises where you have a lot of viable options. There's actual interesting solutions to problems that you're facing. Too little damage, too low win rate. I'm running reload mod, only viable option. Concealment, obviously. I think this one is like absolute giga trash. Definitely giga trash. It's also only viable for smoke minnow. Rudder, because you can't take anything else. Aiming systems, because you're still mostly gun focused, especially on radar minnow. You want to have your hits on the DDs. I run hydro because I normally, or hydro mod because I normally run smoke minnow. It's not the optimal. You should definitely go surveillance radar modification if you run surveillance radar. Then again, it doesn't really matter that much just because your radar has a base duration of 40 seconds already. So playing that module and maybe even consumable enhancement makes you go 1 minute radar bot, which is hilarious. Yeah, well, hop into the next game. Actually, we can quickly check the end results because we're finally finish the game. I got 2.7k base. That's mostly due to my cruiser and DD damage and the 32 plane kills, because the carrier spammed a whole lot of planes into me. Yeah, I got 75k AA damage, 17 bombers. The guy really wanted my dick, but didn't know how to do it. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of torp damage, but mostly gun focused. Luckily, people were so greedy that I was able to kite them or play around a rock and torpedo them out. But unless the enemy is fucking up the salvos on purpose, like the Iowa did, you're not gonna survive these kind of situations. Even if you survive them, you most likely take so much damage that you can't really fight effectively afterwards anymore. Like if the Iowa would have gotten 2 sits, I maybe survive it and I can heal a bit back, but afterwards I don't have much more health to remain or to play with. So it's essentially a one-way trip if you try to rush people in radar minnow. And do mind that coming around corners, flat broadside is essentially heavy 1-for-1 gaming on this ship. That's because even heavy cruisers completely obliterate you. You don't even have to have a Stalingrad against you. Obviously Stalin is kind of the hard counter cruiser to you. You can't abuse the fact that it has 60-second fires at all, but you get railgunned by him and overmatched. And even ships like Napoli and Henry overmatch you, so keep that in mind. I don't know if I have the feeling some people don't know that really, or don't really think about that. There is like the problem of Conde, Henry, Napoli. What else would be there? Marseille. I mean, obviously Marseille is a bit more obvious, but even the 240 or 240 millimeter heavy cruisers, can overmatch you and have a very easy time outplaying you. Specifically, Napoli is like the hard counter. Unless the Napoli is forced to perma push into you and you can kind of get torp hits opportunistically, or he eats a lot of torps, you're not going to win a fight against any sort of Napoli, just because if you use front turrets, he might just 20-30k you. Even if you angle perfectly, he might just 10-15k you consistently, and then again you're not doing any sort of damage against him. Raider Mino is something that really wins game, or like kind of hard win games in randoms, just because people are stupid or inexperienced or don't really know what to do. And you bring so much utility, DPM and torpedoes, which works a lot in randoms. In competitive, it's a whole different story. Like playing Raider Minnow in competitive, most likely, or essentially, you can only play it as a forward radar bot, perma-pressing Y and U for Hydra and radar. Can't really open water. You can somewhat play it very deep in open flanks to grief enemy DD spotting if you know a DD is there. Problem there is if you don't have a Nevsky or something behind you that can play off your radar too, or a gunboat that can play off your radar, you yourself are most likely not gonna kill the DD. Just because competent players will angle, and the moment you angle against Minotaur you have a big issue. The only time you can't angle that properly against Minnow is if the Minnow is super long range, nearly max range, and plunges its shells into your deck. You can see that if you get the opportunity to shoot, for example, at a stationary Yamato 15 km away, you're going to miraculously end up getting way more penetrations than expected, just because the plunging fire, I believe it's plunging fire. I mean, I wouldn't know what else it could be. Going to Hydro here, in case there's a DD. My first salvo landed short because funny aiming bugs, so I'm not getting the damage that I wanted. Fuck, he spotted again and I went behind the island. Some people were aiming for me, so I was like, maybe there's... I really don't know what I'm spotted because there's a submarine in the flank. What the fuck's going on, man? I'm probably not going to do shit to that submarine, by the way. I'm doing 0 damage, not even hitting him. Oh, I hit him now. What the fuck's going on, man? Seriously. Also, you have super ship matchmaking, which limits the effectiveness of Minnow at the moment. And on top of that, you also have Maltas roaming the server in full force and numbers currently, just because this carrier is the most disgusting piss they have released in recent history when it comes to balancing. Problem there being that you don't have def A, and the Malta has a whole lot of HP on the plane, so even if you have hit smoke clouds, you're not gonna kill many planes. I mean, if he's competent, he even dodges your flag, and then the funny AP bombers that are specifically designed to grief with light cruisers. I never got it why this is a thing, because basically I'm going to bait the Moscow Raider now, so I'm stopping reversing immediately, even though I'm in the cap. Why am I not capping? Oh wait, we're already capped it. Never mind. Never fucking mind. Light cruisers are supposed to have an easy time against carriers. Like, if you have armament against light cruisers, it shall be designed like a Richthofen rocket, where you still have to position, or where you still have to get into a crossfire situation where you force the light cruiser to either take damage from you or your team, and you have to kind of aim pretty well. This guy is horny for me now. This is the thing, like with Minnow, the moment people spot it out, they want to fucking grief you. Actually, I'm going to radar him if he goes dark in that smoke. I'm going to shoot him here just because he wants to make the next island, I believe. Not doing any sort of damage though. Now I'm doing some damage. Yeah, I'm going to radar him. Actually, just fuck it, I'll keep radar on. This might just kind of one-shot me. Ah, okay. I angled in time, kind of, too. If I wouldn't be plane spotted, this would be the perfect opportunity for Minnow killing a Napoli, which should never happen, but sadly I'm plane spotted. I'm angled enough, I think. Yeah, kind of. I mean, you see he overmatches some parts of my ship. Killing him here. That's great, though. I overmatch some parts of, he overmatches most parts of my ship, so if he hits upper belt or something, he gets no citadels, yeah, but he gets the 10k or 11k penetrations, which is a problem for me. I'm actually gonna DCP the fire, because I can go dark here. Unless the carrier comes again. The Moskva is Cancer. I am going to try and leave his Hydra range now. I mean, either I bait the radar with it for my team to play off of, or I just die. But I can't really sit there with the Sherman realizing that he can free farm me from the flank. If I shoot him, he's just gonna smoke up and still keep farming me. Wait, there's a fucking Yodo in the middle. I thought he was on the other side of the rocks. Jesus Christ, what the fuck's happening? Jesus fucking Christ. That's a fight I definitely want to take. I think it's a super easy fight. I haven't played Mino into Yodo though, but I guess given the nature of his armor scheme and ship, I can probably fuck him pretty well. Now he's going to gamer turn out. I can also super heal his damage very easily. It's mostly I don't even think he's gonna have the chance or opportunity to fuck me with AP at this range. I mean, yeah, if I go flat broadside he will, but... Can I kill him? Probably here, yeah. I didn't kill him. Hiya! I wanted to go dark because my super heal is off cooldown in only 1 minute. So if I get hit now, even HE could kill me. So I'm going to play it a bit more safe. Nearly griefed myself here on the island. Yeah, I wanted to dislodge because of the Yodo, or like the people in the coming back towards middle and the Moskva perma-spotting me there and also being able to run it out maybe. So, gotta be a bit careful there. Gonna hydro. The Thunderer shot me, but I think I can dodge it. Yeah. Actually, I bounced the shell on my main armor belt. That's super lucky, because the entire side plating or upper belt, decks, ass and nose are completely overmatchable by these people. Am I going to hit torpedoes here and kill him? Wow, epic. I didn't kill him though, but yeah, I mean, he's kind of dead. He's also perma-flooding because of that, I think. Wow. If I had 2 torpedo sets, I would have killed him straight up, but I sadly lost the torpedo tube to, I think, AP of the... What was it? Napoli even. I'm going to stay passive now in base. I'm going to run over to A. There's not really anything I can do there. These islands are great if they play in front of A, but if they go into the middle, these islands are mostly useless because they don't really offer much protection towards the middle. Also, the closer I go again, the more likely it is that the carrier thinks it's funny to perma-spot me. We're just gonna use like long range AP Cancer for now and chilling out and waiting what's going to happen. The side is obviously divided heavily into 2 parts, C side and A side, so depending on where the most of the enemies are going, I will play the other side of the middle rocks and go into B, because B, again, definitely offers the option of me being protected towards the other side, like towards C, Bork and Mecklenburg for example. I can find very easy cover here. For that to be super good though, then the Thunderer had to leave for the other side now. Hopefully my team is at some point actually killing the submarine, because they're like kind of hunting him since 3 years. Thunderer is still chilling around doing nothing, but like... I'm trying to get radar on the Mino to maybe kill him. I mean, you counter smoke Mino pretty hard in radar Mino, which is funny, huh? Only got 1 sit there, and he has a super here ready. Now he's angling in towards me. Hopefully any sort of teammate is looking for this. Yeah, the Thunder is... That's the thing, like, you get spotted in Mino, the fucking guys want to shoot you. He's gonna probably kill me here, by the way. The Thunderer Dispersion AP loaded. Like, even if he has HA, he kills me. He missed. Wait a minute, what the fuck's going on? Why is he running it into me? My team is not using my spotting in the middle of the map with my radar against the Mino to actually kill him out, so he's free to run at me and keep me lit, man. This is disastrous! Thank you. Hopefully I can dodge the Thunderous salvo and go dark afterwards. That just basically, yeah, okay, that depends on his dispersion, and it also depends on the carrier's willingness to now go for me and grief me. I'm risking eating torpedoes here, but I don't want to be sitting here and stuck nose in against the Thunderer potential. He got a shot out. Dude, Thunderer reload. Okay, I'm dead. GG. Thunderer reload is just the most disgusting shit in the world. I stopped shooting before he shot his salvo, and I can't even turn and go dark before he gets the second one. I love the balancing of this game, to be honest. It's super good to have these kind of dispersions on 30mm overmatch BBs that also reload in like 20 seconds. That's just epic. That's just epic. Problem here for me to keep playing and maybe win the game for my team is basically that the Minotaur decided to run it into my flank for no reason. There's also Venezia, Yoshino, and like more people were on my flank. The Vincent was super far away. I personally predicted him to go to the rock and either stay on the rock or turn out, so that's why I tried to go dark and didn't shoot the Minotaur anymore the moment he angled in. Then the fucking Minotaur decides to monk grief 1-for-1 me there. And yeah, I end up in front of a Thunderer that's kiting with AP only. I mean, I guess at least he's an AP purist. Probably the wrong time for him to be an AP purist though when I'm playing Raider Mino. So yeah, sadly, that's some sort of misplay from me. I should have maybe played it more safe. Turned behind this rock here. When I raided the Minnow, like go close, turn out, and then raider him, get some shots and go behind this rock. Could have definitely played the game further and most likely carry it for my team, or at least stick around for additional raiders or hydros, perhaps. Though, then again, not much is left, the trump is super low. Thunderer is dying in kite because the thing doesn't really tank well. He overcommitted a bit by staying so long into the middle. Now you have the Venezia, Yoshino, and Carrier going for him. Obviously it's an Audacious. He does a great load of damage with the bombers. The Hindenburg is randomly sticking or going next to the Carrier. The Mecklenburg is going to die solo on that flank. So we're going to win this game. I at least killed the Napoli, helped kill the Napoli. I also helped kill the Moskva, the Minnow. Yeah, and sticked around for potential destroyers trying to contest on my side. No destroyer really did because the Sherman was there. But in any case, the island I played there is definitely viable. As said, it's the same thing as in the first game. If you're close to the islands and you can use the islands to kite people around, like you go forward, going into cover, being able to shoot someone who's running like into the open. You have very good odds of not taking damage at all, but pumping out a whole lot yourself. And you can't really be rushed and Minotaur that close around islands because you just have the good torpedo angles, snailable torps, everything. So yeah, these kind of forward positions are what you really should go for with Hydro Raider Minnow. With Smoke I could play open water and farm people. Then again, I also got lucky with both maps being great maps for Raider Minnow. Well, in any case, that's it for Raider Minnow. Maybe try it yourself. I got, again, super fortunate with the 350k, no, it was like 330k game in the first one. In any case, see you for the next ship, see you for the next video. If you're not experienced enough, then either take another radar cruiser that has actual armor and HE, or just straight up play Smoke Minnow. Yeah, take care and see you soon.